Good evening, everyone. I do hope you're having a good day. Coming to you a little bit later today, but I wanted to touch base with you as it relates to anxiety. So, yesterday I spoke about fear, and in this time that we're living in right now, I wanted to just talk about anxiety. So, dealing with darkness, a throwback to dealing with darkness, and today's topic is how to deal with anxiety. So, just to recap, darkness is defined as the absence of light, and one of the definitions that I found of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. Yeah, so the outcome is uncertain, but yet the individual is anxious about it. So, before we go on, just please go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Kingdom Youth Network, so that you are notified of future videos. And by all means, feel free to share and subscribe. Share and subscribe. Yeah, share and subscribe with those that might need to hear this at this time. Okay, so starting off with a story. A couple of years ago, I think maybe about 2 years now, I was at a conference and I was participating in helping to look after one of my nephews who was about 3 at the time. So I was getting him ready for bed, and part of that process was to take him to the bathroom, make sure he'd done his thing, and put him to bed. So whilst we were washing his hands together, and I think we were singing or something, he just looked up at me and asked. He was like, with such great concern on his face, and he was like, "Am I going to turn into a werewolf?" And it must have been 8 o'clock in the evening. Like he took me aback, like completely. I didn't see that come in. I didn't know how we went from what we were talking about to talking about werewolves, and I almost laughed. But I looked at his face, and I could see that it was a very serious concern for him. He was asking a serious question to me. So I held it in, held my laughter in, and I shook my head and explained to him that little boys do not turn into werewolves. So once I'd explained that to him, he was satisfied with my explanation, and he went right off to his room and went to bed and slept. So that matter was resolved, but I found it so funny. So just thought I'd share it with you, because sometimes anxiety can be so irrational, but yet to us or to the individual, it's very real, but it's so highly irrational. But we'll go through some of my observations as it relates to anxiety. So I found this sort of excerpt online, and it provides a distinction between fear and anxiety. So I'll just read it to you. It says, fear is the emotional response to real or perceived imminent threat. So like someone who is afraid of contracting the coronavirus, that's a real thing. So it's a possibility. It's an imminent threat. So I spoke about that yesterday. Check out the video, how to deal with fear. Whereas anxiety is anticipation of future threats. And that's from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition. Found that online, thought I'd share. So in essence, anxiety is the process of worrying about a future occurrence which is not connected to your present reality. Anxiety takes on the form of worry, which is essentially thinking the same thought over and over and over again. And that can result in an increase of anxiety within an individual. Anxiety is irrational, so just like my nephew had the fear, he just had this concern that he was going to turn into a werewolf. That was highly irrational, and sometimes there can be an overlap between fear and anxiety. So that's why I just wanted to just give you the distinction. So like someone can fear something, it's very real. Like the coronavirus, that's something that's present with us. We can see the impact it's having. Whereas anxiety is something that is far off in the future, and I will provide you with some examples. When I say far off in the future, it doesn't mean that it will happen. It could happen, but the likelihood of it happening is very slim. But to that individual, it's highly likely that it will happen. But we'll talk about that some more. So I'd like to give you some examples as it relates to anxiety and how it manifests itself. So anxiety can be seen in the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. He's getting very well paid. He's getting handsomely paid. His company is doing well. He lives in a lovely home. And that home is being fully paid for. And everything is going well for the CEO, but yet the CEO has an anxiety that he's going to lose everything and become homeless. And this thought, which he thinks about persistently, often leaves him sleepless at night. So it just leads to sleeplessness at night. So that's an example of anxiety, because he's doing very well, but yet he has this anxiety or this fear that he's going to become homeless. So it's not connected to his present reality at all. And another example, anxiety can also be seen in the A students who works hard and obtains a consistent A grade. Their lecturers are pleased with the work that they provide, and because this student is so efficient, they take extra classes and they ensure that they stay ahead of their class. So they're reading in advance before the lecturer has even provided notes or anything. They're prepared, overly prepared, in fact. But yet, this student has a fear that they are going to just flunk all their grades and just completely fail at all of their exams. This causes the student to have anxiety about this, and it leads to migraines, like persistent occurrences of migraines. Another example of how anxiety manifests itself can be seen in the life of a new mother who has a healthy 3-year-old. Aside from a minor cold here and there, this toddler is completely healthy, has passed all health checks, and exceeded the expected milestones for their age, right? However, this mother worries constantly that their child will fall ill and be hospitalized for days on end. This concern often keeps her up at night. So I hope you can see the distinction, because anxiety often bears no relation to your present reality. So from those examples, you see that these people have good lives, but the area of your concern is very far removed from what they're actually experiencing in real life. I'm just going to give you some tips as to identify the reality about anxiety. So the reality about anxiety is that it is disconnected from your present reality in a very big way. So that's something that you must know. When you're feeling anxiety, just be aware that it's disconnected from your present reality in a very big way. And although it's disconnected from your reality, the main purpose of anxiety is to rob you of the ability to enjoy your present reality. Because if you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company and you keep worrying that you're going to become homeless, there is no way that you can enjoy your beautiful home, your beautiful family, the fact that you live in a good section of town. You can't enjoy any of that. So anxiety robs you of the ability to enjoy your present reality. Also, anxiety acts as a distorted lens. For people who look through the lens, so just imagine that the lens I'm looking through right now is the lens of anxiety. What the lens does is that it distorts your reality. So it magnifies the negatives and minimizes the positives in your life. So everything that's going good for you, anxiety will minimize it in your mind, and everything that might not be going too good or too well, anxiety will blow it out of proportion. So anxiety acts as a distorted lens, and it just distorts things and escalates things and minimize certain other things that you should actually be focusing on. So you just need to be aware of that. Anxiety is also irrational, and it will go to great extent to provide you with evidence of the things that are likely to happen. So it will provide you with pictures, it will provide you with evidence of the media, like, oh, that CEO fell ill, so I'm a CEO, so I might fall ill as well. Do you see how just distorted that is? Because at the end of the day, you don't know what health issues that other CEO is. I'm a CEO, I'm in good health, I exercise 2 times a week, I have a healthy diet, I live in a good part of town, But then I'm worrying because I've seen this other CEO who's fallen ill and been in hospital for a good while, not realizing that perhaps that other CEO didn't actually have like good health practices, wasn't spending their money properly, and that's why they're homeless. So anxiety will just distort. It'll provide you with the evidence, but the evidence is often also distorted as well. Okay, so how do you deal with anxiety? Here are some tips for you. So number one, create a gratitude list. In order for you to stay connected to your present reality, one way to do that is to create a gratitude list. Write down all the things that are going well in your life. Stand in front of a mirror on a daily basis and just read it out to yourself and just say, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my health. I am thankful for my wealth. I am thankful for my home. I am thankful for my cars. I'm thankful for my lands. Whatever it is you're thankful for, I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for my wife. Just whatever it is, write it down and just repeat it daily. Look in the mirror, repeat it daily, because that helps you to stay grounded. That helps you to stay connected to your current reality. So when anxiety tries to come in and whisper little lies in your ear, you already know what you have going for you, so that you're less likely to look through the lens that it provides to you, which is a distorted lens, as we've already discussed. Next, utilize pictures. Anxiety thrives in providing mental pictures of disasters that could possibly happen in the future. So be intentional about creating your own pictures. So visualize yourself doing amazing things. Visualize yourself visiting amazing places. Visualize yourself meeting like totally amazing people. That's three amazings. Can't go wrong with that, right? So visualize yourself doing everything that you want to do and being everything that you want to be. And you can also sort of supplement that by perhaps obtaining pictures from magazines or obtaining pictures from online sources, just to help combat the negative pictures that anxiety will provide you with. So you be intentional in combating anxiety, okay? Because it always happens in the mind, so you have to be very intentional about fighting back as well. Then finally, I'm a very firm believer in the power of affirmations. So use daily affirmations, write them down, because the power of your words has the ability to fight off anxiety, because anxiety uses words. Those words are not audible to anybody else but yourself. It'll whisper to you, you're going to fail. It'll whisper to you, you're going to fall sick. It'll whisper to you, you're going to lose it all. It'll whisper to you, you're going to become homeless. So anxiety uses words that are audible, very audible to the person it's talking to. So you have to be intentional in creating your own, or in creating an arsenal, in fact, of words. So when anxiety whispers and says to you, you're going to fall sick, you have your affirmations all set out. And it's something that you say to yourself whilst looking in the mirror on a daily basis, or even if you're not looking in the mirror, at least repeat it to yourself out loud. And so you can say, I am healthy, I am happy, I am whole. Okay, so those are my tips for you today as it relates to anxiety. Again, please subscribe and feel free to share this with whoever whoever you think needs to hear it. When you subscribe, you'll be updated of future contents as well. So until next time, do stay safe, stay positive, take it easy. Bye.